you save. I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. I wish you all the best I can, but I stop myself for a while. I'm staying fake, I don't believe the panic rising up in you. Why won't you tell me something new? Don't you think for the people the best we find back my stuff a little sooner than this? Don't you think for the people the best we find back my stuff a little sooner than this? Don't you wish I would have been someone else? I wanna feel your gap without making a mess at you. Why won't you tell me something new? I wanna tell you something new. You drove us both into a wall. I drive away into the night, and I contemplate for a while. Don't you think for the people the best we find back my stuff a little sooner than this? Don't you think for the people the best we find back my stuff a little sooner than this? Don't you wish I would have been someone else? I wanna feel your gap without making a mess at you. Why won't you tell me something new? Wish you all the best I can, then I stop myself for a while.
Chase your tail light. I'll be under your skin, letting you go for a while. Then I'm taking you in. Fists like diamonds, glimmer and punch. Shiny predator with a golden gun. Space age girl machine. Space age girl machine. Space age.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Why does it sound so different? Check. We're right with it.
Lost me, but I'm right behind. I'm 30 now, fancy, and I made you blind.
The only channel where you get crypto pantomime and whiteface.
Can you say that?
Well, it is what it is.
You are correct, sir.
A little treat. Here we go.
We
When you trade crypto and never is high. When the market starts to slide, paper hands drop as prices go down. Where's the hiding market Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in crypto right now, you are missing out on one of the biggest opportunities in your life. Hit that like button, join and subscribe, and enjoy Road Dog Crypto.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I should say thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey. Welcome to Late Night Crypto, everybody. My name is Lane. We're looking at the charts tonight and watching as Total 3's rolling over. So that kind of means our alt bags are rolling over a little bit. Does it sound good? It sounds different to me for some reason. Maybe that's a that's a little too much for my ears. Okay. I've had some sound tweaks, so things are a little bit different. Because I'll see it when I do the replay. Anyway, here's what I've got and what we've had for a little while. I want to zoom out on the bigger picture. And here we are on the daily, but the weekly. The weekly that kind of interests me, especially this one right over here. Well, the daily on this one right over here right now. This is where we had our CME gaps and all that stuff. You can't see it until I do my candles just a little bit different there. Get some of this chicken scratch off of mine. Hello, chicken scratch. So we first had this gap over here on the weekend. Fell down here and I'm sorry, it was way over here. We had this gap. We thought this was going to come back and fill it. And hey, man, we'd be off into the races. And 58,000 would be a good place to come down and make a higher low. It was all being all pretty until the craziness in Japan happened. And then we got another gap during that weekend. And that been crazy. And it looks as though we've probably filled this gap with the wicks all the way up here filling that. That was kind of cool when we came up to 63,000. So now we've done that. And I'm curious to see what they plan to do from here on out. But I got to tell you, my moving averages are leaning bearish there. And we are in rollover territory. And it looks as though we may have... We may be on that track. I don't know. Let's take a look on the weekly candles here. Because we got our weekly candle close and we got a nice doji type candle there. I like this idea where now we've got our higher lows. We got a little uptrend there. I like to check the little RSI here. It's got a little uptrend too. So I was looking for some divergence there, like the reversal kind, and it's just not there. Doesn't mean that we can't have a good time, but this is normally an indecision candle, and you do see them at reversal areas. So that's a good thing that we might have going on. We just started our new candle. One notable thing is that we didn't close below this low over here, and if I'm not mistaken, we didn't close low below this candle low over here. That's pretty good. So I like those ideas here on the weekly. Checking our indicators, and we've got stochastics bottomed out, but they can stay that way and price could still continue to go down. So that's not the great indicator. The biggest thing we got going on our side is this this green line here, and that's the money flow that's still in the green, and that's good. So the bearish stuff that happened shouldn't be that bad. Well, unless you have a catastrophic event, it could have been worse. So we got that idea. But it is trailing down, and that might be because of all the events happening over the past couple of weeks or so. But We'll have to keep an eye there. Too early to tell on the weekly for that. We can look at the 5-day and see that stochastics are bouncing up and come down and look at a few of the other things. And it's a little indecision here, going up, going down. We're just going sideways. Can't figure out what's going on the 3-day. And the daily is looking, you know, maybe turning a little bit bearish right now. The stochastics have leveled out over here. We got the red dot. We got this VWAP thing. Volume weighted average price is starting to come below our 0 level. So things are kind of looking a little sad right now, as though that rollover that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, when all this stuff was going on, I mean, that was the scenario that we had to come up to these areas somewhere around 59 to 60, I think it's 63, right? And retesting this trend line here, which she did pretty nicely, wicked right up there. That was a couple of days ago, and the first time that we got up there, and didn't really get up there. We went right up to the daily bearish death cross, and that's just where the 50's crossing the 200, coming down. And I see it as a bearish sign, a negative sign, but keep in mind the shallow cross, the angles here where they're crossing are shallow. All the major moving averages are still up and to the right. We still got that big momentum behind us pushing us upward. But the fear, or I guess a fear for some, is a retest and then come back down. Now the question is, will we make a higher low? We expected to make a higher low over here, and or was it here? And it didn't happen. Can we come back and break even, or are we going lower? And that remains to be seen. Nobody knows. And the best we could have done is prepare ourselves and take a little profits and reorder our portfolios a little bit. That's what I've been trying to do and trying to work on. And get ready for a bigger drop. Now, I can't really see anything in the major markets yet, short of, who knows what could pop off, but nothing I'm aware of that would push us down to these $40,000 areas. But it could always happen. But here's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to bring into my fib strategy about this, because it kind of helps it. I see it as a predictive thing, okay? When we were down here, after we lost it, we came down here to this area, and we started coming back up. We pull our fibs from here. If this had been a really bearish thing, we would have rolled over here. The 236 fib has been really strong. If we got any kind of relief, we would have rolled over there, 54. Still rolling over about 57, where I thought that we had a good chance. And I actually took out a little short there. That's where I was looking for. If it's going to come down, she's going to come down now. And that would have been the one driving us to a lower low. That would pretty much be a solid bet. Coming back up to the 618 though, you know, we got some opportunities with this one. We got some chances with this one. It's not as bad. It would be a much stronger bearish move with any of the other two fibs, and that's just how the fib strategy works. So now that we've drawn all over this chart and made it look like a clown, why were you there, man? Friday, September the 13th. That doesn't sound ominous at all. I don't even know why it's there. So, what I can do, what I shall do, what I will attempt to do, is consult the fibs one more time so we can hide a swing low, give us some areas where we could go, and I'm going to mark them, and some of them have already marked. And from previous things, and that just means, hey man, that's actually probably going to be a really good level. So 52, 143. I don't really want us to go down that far. Not really. But if we do, I'm cool with it. It's the other downward swing would be about 45. If we're going to try to do this, if we got some another lower move coming, my fibs are telling me 45, 200. Don't want to do that one either for real. I would like some cheaper Bitcoin though. So 54 is what I'm looking for, about 54,200. This 618 Fibonacci. She doesn't have to bounce there, but more than likely that's where we're heading from this move. So let's get this little guy out of the way because he doesn't really mean anything. We do have bodies over here and bodies right there, and that also points to that area. So a little confluence with that idea, and that's perfect. That's perfect. If we can bounce off of there, we can come back up to here to 64. Well, if I do a little predictive moves here, where are you? Yeah, 63 to 65. A retest of that area would be on the table. And that sounds kind of lovely. That's what I would love to see come down here, and then maybe I finagle around. You know, as long as we're not continuing down, we just go sideways for a little bit, and a little bit of a range. Maybe break back into, I don't know if we're going to break back into that trend line or not. Of this particular one. There are other angles that we also looked at. This little guy here, which has another one. When you take him and put him up here, and then that idea. And that seems to be kind of valid. She seems to like this. We've been looking at that too for the longest. Well, this was the more steeper trend line that we broke there. And overall, I don't know, I just think it's kind of interesting because like Miles was saying, everybody's all bullish and feeling giddy, and you know, we're doing exactly what they would want us to do at this point if they're going to roll us over for something and getting us excited. It wasn't all the excitement that I thought for something more devious. So I'm not expecting something. I'm not expecting a lower low. The market could totally surprise me, but I'm just not seeing it. We got a shout out to everybody here in the chat tonight. We've got I got Dave P in the house, and let's go. It's Remy No Limits. Welcome to the stream, my man. Strega in the house. Dave P is here with us. There is Celinda Anderson. Joe from Trade Intuition. Extremely desirable. Glad to have you guys. Dumperoonie and cheese, says Celinda. Hits room, it says sound is messed up. Is it? Is it really? I get kind of weird about my sound. It doesn't sound right to me either. Give me just a moment here and see if I messed up a setting. And is that you? No, no, no. I really didn't do very much to my sound levels, but for some reason they seem to be affected just a little bit. Road Dog broke it. Broke it one more time though, Boomer. Let me know if the mic is sounding okay, and then I'll hear it on the playback of the stream tonight. That should be it. What is going on with this? Look, I'm paranoid now. So got me all paranoid now. There's my mic. Okay, everything looks good on my end, but Joe says I think it sounds good. Okay, we'll rock with that. There's always something. Mercury's in retrograde. I wouldn't doubt it a bit. Yeah, I believe in that. Mercury don't like me when he's going in retrograde. So short term on Bitcoin, man, we lost a trend line, and there we go. And you can take a measure move. I want to take it from this wick up there, just come straight down, pretend we're in a channel. But the real channel, you know, the width is, well, yeah, okay. Let's go with the actual width from candle bodies. I'm curious. That takes us down to this area here. I've got marked, and I don't know if I've done that before, if that was from something else. 55,900. I'm curious what I get from, yeah, that one. That takes us down just a little lower to 54.5 for a measure move idea. I always like to pull the OFib. Swing high to swing low, and I like that 54. And here we go, sea of red on the daily charts, man. So all those gains coming back just a little bit. Doesn't look too bad. Not too bad so far. Let's take a look at some of the hot altcoins to see how they're normally doing. Some of our staples here on the channel. Taking a look at Caspa. Good, oh, Caspa. Are you really? You got down to 15.4. I can't remember if I started putting orders. I'm waiting. I'm playing this one really conservative, just in case. Yeah, that's kind of, you're a hard read with all that noise, Caspa. It's just best to stick with the daily on this one, I think. So it looks like we pulled the fibs from a bigger pull there, and we're at this 13-cent area. I wouldn't even expect us to have to go down to that. It looks like it's got a good chance to kind of just stick around where it's at right here. Maybe drop back down to, you know, the mid-15s where we were the other day, but Caspa's not looking too bad right now. I'm not seeing a big sign of dropping. I'm seeing lower prices and lower volume, and that's usually taken as a good sign, and you can usually bump from that. So that's one thing to consider on that. $14.2 might be on the table though. If we are getting a rollover that's going to last a few days into this week, those are some ideas I'm kind of looking at. But the 200, 150, they're all looking really good. They look like they're doing what they should. Yeah, bigger movement averages down there. So maybe between 14.2 14.8, that might be a nice little place to snag if we go back down there. There's no guarantee that we will. We might just bounce here, recover the 9, and keep on probably trading sideways, because we did lose a trend line, and that's kind of a big deal. When a major trend line's lost, it takes a little while to recover, and I could see us eventually getting down to here. Like if she wants to just come around and maybe round out a little bit. That might be an idea, and that's not too bad. G'day, Caspa. I suppose Solana is also taking a little bit of a dive. 143. Okay. Go Solana. It's a birthday. We already pulled the fib. Let's see what we got here. How many fibs do I got here? That's the one I need right here. So a 786 would be a deep retracement. A 618 would be a nice, considerable, healthy retracement. Even the 0.5 could be. The deeper that we go on the fib scale, the harder it's got to work to make a higher high. And if it can't get past the 618 on the bounce, whenever it bounces, well, we have to pull a new fib. But if it can't get past that, then we got the chance to come down a little further. Now, should Solana get a little bit more bearish than we anticipate, I would like to throw out $95 and $103. As a possible lower low, we don't want to see a lower low. Probably won't see a lower low because we do have that nice big dangle wick. But we do have this 360 moving average. I'm kind of curious if she might want to touch her again. It's been a long time since she touched her. Might be missing that touch. Might be needing that touch, that little special caress, or maybe we just don't have to at all. I would look for here or here. What is it, 130 or 121? That's where I've kind of got my sets on. There's even a chance for 116, but that... if we do that, I'm going to be kind of looking at the market a little bit sideways. But with a little patience, a little drive down, we're going to see a little cheaper prices for a little bit. This is supposed to be a crazy week anyway. We got CPI coming out, so you know the market makers are going to have fun. So it's not a bad week for traders just to kind of chill out. And if you're nibbling, maybe, you know, I mean, nibble a little less this week, or a little smaller nibbles. Because it might take it a few days for us to start seeing these altcoins get down to the real crux of it before they bounce. It may be a slow bleed. Slinda says that SWE is looking strong. Let's go check out SWE. Wow, it is. She's at Lucy's line right there. She's talking to the devil. And there they were in league with the devil. That old devil girl. She might smack her down a little bit. Let's zoom out and take a look at SWE. What do you look like? Oh, that was my personal. That's what I've been doing with spot margin when I just pulled up. I pulled my fibs and I pulled them from up here just to get some retracement areas in case she rolls over. Just in case. Crazy ideas I do. So we got our fibs pulled out there. We're just waiting for these levels to hit, and 112 looks like it wants to be the next target that we're shooting for, in my opinion. And she can roll over there. I'm going to take that bottom trend line and use it. When they start doing the little curvy curves and slower accumulations, that's really what it means. And I would expect it to kind of round out a little bit. And I may be wrong. Maybe she'll just start blasting off, but 200 moving average says she shouldn't get too much further than 120, 121. She went deep. That was deep. She went deep. So as far as higher targets, it would, I mean, she can come up to here, that 181, but it would be, I would expect a rollover at 152 if she can make it up even that high. I don't expect it anytime soon. But you can, if you consider that to be a breakout, we can take a measure move from this little guy, and that takes us close to this 0.5, so we'll mark that 0.5. Nice little confluence in there. So that's coming in about $1.34. We're looking about $1.11. Those are some good targets for Sweet if she can do it. Otherwise, we come back and test 87 cents. That would just be normal. I would expect she's going to have a hard time getting past this 95 cent area, though, with that 360 moving average being right there, just right above her head on this particular time frame. What's up, Sam? How's it going? Let's see how the big Ethereum is faring today, back at 25.5. Looks like, wow. Let's go to a smaller time frame. This is where I was planning my trades out. I'm on, I must have just CoinEx marked, right? Yeah, let's get off of that. So 4 hour, if we're just going by the wicks there, looks like we it's not quite official that we broke that trend line. If we're going by candle bodies, though, it gives us a little lower area that it might respect, somewhere around 2400. We pull our fibs there, swing high to swing low, tell me where price is going to go. That's about the 0.5 area, so she might be talking sweet there. That 618 coming in at 2348 looks really nice to me, though. Tighten up that trend line right now. Well, with the wicks, so this is a hopeful idea that we got. See if that will hold. I like that she's in the middle of a red cloud right now, because we can bounce right off of here. Maybe this 382 area would hold. I mean, we haven't come down and past this area, so can't get too antsy just yet. I'm just going just because she broke some trend line there. But if we take this one out of consideration and go by this one, this is just right on target to make a higher low, and that could happen here. 2490. That's what the fib says. The top of the candle comes in at 2517. So this is a good place to bounce too. So I wouldn't put that out of the radar either. Avalanche. It's frankly been disappointing, I think. She broke her trend line a while back. Well, that was your sign to leave it alone for a while, but she hasn't dropped very much. That's almost $22, and she's down 20. She's just down $2. That's a whole 10%. Just down $2. This one should be an interesting one to accumulate. 1938 looks good. Ooh, I got an interesting little area coming down here. I got too many fibs pulled up, but I got some confluence with this little area here. She's don't stutter. I like this. This is not what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get this little box here. That looks really interesting to me. This little zone. Because I got two bottom fibs here for this zone. So that's, to me, I'm taking that as confluence. About 1850. And the 1938 area, that one should hold for a little bit. Give it a little bit of a hiccup if nothing else, if not a bounce. But 1850 looks like she might get tested there. Unless we can bounce it back into this cloud. I like those clouds. Just kind of pointing down here this way to the $19 area. Haven't looked at render in a while. I built a bag of it with spot margin, and then they suddenly quit doing the spot margin. I don't know what was going on. I think it's switching chains or something crazy, or maybe expanding the chains. I think it's on Solana now too. It's down to 452 now. That's not much of a recovery for you, render. Nice, round and shapes up. It's on top of the world. And then she's not. This is a pattern that everybody should burn into their brain, because this is the outcome of a number go up. Oh my gosh, I'm a genius. We're balling. Yeah, right after that comes this. So it's always good. I think we should meditate on this pattern and burn it in our heads. And that way, maybe we'll remember to pay ourselves just a little bit more. Just know that when it comes back down, it's a good time to buy it again. That eventually, you know, when trend lines break, depending on how you're drawing and tracking that trend line, good times to get out. A good time to take profits. So renders down here and talking to Miss Lucy, are we on the daily time frame? Bounce down there, might be coming back down to 372. Really? Why would you do that? You're supposed to make me rich, not just disappear and make me poor. Render, what's up with that? If there is a low target for us to look for, I would be looking for 281. I don't think it's going to get that. I'm just throwing these bearish scenarios out there. Actually, I'm looking somewhere around 445 to hold, and looking for 380. $3.82, 81 cents in that area to hold. Should they not, and should we break and start looking for a newer low, then I'm looking for 310 and two, especially 240, 281. But we're not there. You can look at this a couple of different ways. A lot of people are starting to get sad again, I think, and you can look at it as that we're rolling over to make a higher low, and then we start coming back up and making some kind of the double bottom, working our way out, and then we're good. The other way that people are trying to read this is you got some kind of flag pattern or some kind of triangle. However, and then just going for the flags, which, you know, flags do, they can play out, but they're not the best for playing out, right? And that makes this, we're going down to 162, and right here, we're not in a bear market. We're in a little bit of a bear trend, lower lows and lower highs, but we're not in a bear market. We're pretty much smack dab in the middle of a bull market. So to get too bearish, I think it's just playing in the hands for what they would love to do, and what all the people that want to accumulate at low prices would love to do. There are people accumulating, and doing it slowly is not a bad idea at this point. I like the old stacks. Stacks, you coming down? Stacks this. I bet my Bitcoin short still ain't in. Still ain't in profit yet. Remember I said about 57,000. That was a good chance for us to roll over. I started a little small short there and added to it on the way up, and it's still probably isn't in profit yet. It's not much of one. I'm trying to build this tiny account up again, so I'm down 2%. Down 2% on the long, which it's a small one, $16, because I only got $100 over here. This was $1,600 at one time from $100, so let's see if we can mimic that again. So far, not there. And $20 short, which is 5% down. 5% down. That's my little small account. And how do we get back? Respecting the trend line. I like it when they respect the trend line. Respect it, baby. Respect it. Respect it. Stacks, if you go somewhere, where do you want to go? 125? That'd be cool. 116? That's even cooler. That's some juicy buys right there. If she does it. I do not think that she will bounce off of here. But if it does, that's hella bullish. That's good. That can give a bigger move up to these areas, somewhere around 175, 180, that area. If it doesn't go any further than what it is now and bounces there, that would be mega bullish. But chances are she just rolls over and eventually comes down to her 618 fib area here. Just what usually happens. Yippee-ki-yay! A mercy received. How's it going, guys? Glad to have you here. Well, guys, not much is going on in our good old market right here. We can come down to the 1 minute on Bitcoin, but why? It is kind of fun to look at some of the other things, like the smaller time frames. We got the 15 minute on Bitcoin right now. Take these little measure move things off. Take this little fib lines off and just start looking at what we got. Moving averages, man, that's interesting. See who's in the middle of it. I'm telling you, man, when we get her drops and everything, she likes to show up for some reason. She likes to just cuddle price when we drop down to it. That's kind of interesting right there. That's the little shape you got, which I don't know if she's trying to break out, but so we might be seeing on some of these where we're getting ready to do a retest. Maybe they've hit a low area. These would be low areas on these time frames. Bounce up and then, you know, do a little rollover. And you can expect this kind of price action to happen. And I don't know if we'll make a lower low, but kind of down and sideways a little bit. My personal opinion on most of these things. Let's get out of the noise. Find a candle body. Find a candle top body. And let's see if we can, well, I would have been here. And that could be a valid idea too. Might just be coming up this high to roll over. Possible. I don't see anything over here to use. I like to use the angles and, oh, that's kind of far-fetched, but maybe. Sometimes I like to see if we got a support point. I'm not really sold on that idea right here, but we got the 200 moving average on the hour. That's cool. So on several of these time frames, we are starting to see little areas, little moving averages. They're all different on different time frames. On this one, it's the 200, which is a strong one on any time frame. So I take that as good. On what was the 15 minute, we had Lucy in the 800, 800 on the 15. Equal 200 on the 1 hour. Equal 50 on the 4 hour. There's a math to that if you follow it. You don't have to know it or memorize it. Just realize that those moving averages kind of change. And 4 times 4 is 6. We don't have a 16 hour. But on the daily, we are on the 9. The magical 9. 90's a magical number. If you're not got it on the moving average, man, you're missing all the magic. And there we go. The daily 9. The 4 hour 50. The 1 hour 200. The 15 minute 800. And on the 1 minute, I think you're screwed. Like it's our calculation there. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Be careful on the market. It's just a little pullback is how I'm reading it, and I may be totally wrong. Maybe everybody will wake up tomorrow and be bearish and say we're going back to, I hope they don't say we're going back to 40,000. They can say what they want. I don't think it will happen, but I'm curious. And again, the CME gap stuff that we got going on, we've filled it, and well, don't know. You got the 200 moving average just crossed over Lucy's line here on the 15 minute. You want to read anything into that? That's a bullish cross here. So maybe we might just kind of go up and up, or we'll find a bottom here somewhere in these areas. I've got this weird ass area there, but if I had to kind of connect these two little lines here, these two little wicks here, kind of respect this area. And it looks like, you know, we got a chance. Maybe we won't come down to par. Maybe it just bounce up. Tomorrow's Monday. We're all dependent on the big guys. See how she rolls. But keep in mind, no total bad signs yet on the daily. 12 hours looking a little funky. She wants to come down a little bit. I see just a pullback. Take care, guys. See you tomorrow. Trade carefully.
When you trade crypto, and lose your head. When the market starts to slide, paper hands drop as prices go down. Where's the hiding? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in crypto right now, you are missing out on one of the biggest opportunities in your life. Hit that like button, join and subscribe, and enjoy Road Dog Crypto.
Come on, come here, bud. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like you're so ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Feet high off the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you was really was part your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wife